calligraphy itself really taught me about life. It's all about patience, perseverance, and this spirit of not giving up until you are able to create this piece that you're very proud of. I work on art piece like dozens, hundreds, and thousands of times until I feel like I nailed it. And that's my daily journey. My name is Aoi Yamaguchi, and I'm a Japanese calligrapher. My mother took me to the Japanese calligraphy school in the rural town in Hokkaido. I walked into this calligraphy school, I opened the door, and immediately you'll be surrounded by this smell. It's got this very distinctive aroma to it. The aroma is burnt pine wood. I still love the Sumi ink smell so much. When I pour the Sumi ink into the inkwell, I can really smell the fragrance. I started to study calligraphy when I was 6 years old. I really feel both passionate and emotional about my experience learning under the master Ziho Sato sensei and Kaho sensei. They were very strict, but they write really perfect, balanced characters. When I entered into high school, I met another calligraphy teacher, and he was totally opposite of Master Ziho Sato sensei. He was very free-spirited. He would encourage students to bring favorite poetry or favorite lyrics from the song. That approach really resonated with me. I realized calligraphy is not just about writing letters in a beautiful way, but self-expression. Living in the United States, I realized the importance of the practice of Japanese calligraphy and how precious and beautiful that is. And I wanted to share that with the world. After I graduated from university, I needed to decide about my career. Like, what path do I want to take? What do I want to do with my life? The answer was Japanese calligraphy. It was something that I was good at, something that I loved, I felt passionate about. When I was 14 years old, I received this highest prize at this competition. I told my master, and he told me, "Aoi-san, that means it's telling you that you must continue practicing Japanese calligraphy." And I thought, that's what I'm gonna do with my life. My inspirations come from music, nature, and poetry. I love music growing up. Whenever I listen to music, I get this vision of the ink and strokes moving in the air and dancing with the sound. Words just falls into my mind. I don't want to forget that, and so I take my moleskin notebook and then I write them down. I used to dance as well, so I think music and sound and the motion in the sound is kind of in my body. So when I'm writing stroke, like stroke one goes 1, 2, 3, 4. There's definitely a rhythm when I just follow that energy and the movement that just becomes the final work. Nature is a big inspiration. I grew up in this environment where we have 4 distinctive seasons. Transition of seasons is embedded in me. The beauties in nature makes me really appreciate the world. Ayumi-chan is my really good friend. She asked me if I would be interested in collaborating with Cuzen. She told me that it's going to be called Sumi. The word that I was asked to write is Sumi-iro. Sumi is the ink that I use for Japanese calligraphy. Tanboku is this lighter gray hue of Sumi ink that calligrapher creates by mixing the different ratio of Sumi ink and the water. I really enjoyed exploring this depth that this Sumi ink can create. What feels the best match with the Cuzen Matcha maker. First, I have 2 characters to write, Sumi and Iro. The matcha maker itself has clean geometric lines. I wanted the calligraphy to contrast. Calligraphy could be flowy and organic. I had this image of making a matcha latte. The matcha swirls, this movement. I started to explore with Sumi and then create a different hue of tanboku, try to write a couple different versions and then see what feels the best. This relationship between the color black in my calligraphy work and how that responds to the color of the matcha maker was very important. I wanted them to not fight each other or blend each other, but they can coexist in a beautiful way. I thought about what is this Sumi-iro that's so unique for Cuzen, and that naturally decided how this final work would look like.